General Dynamics is people. 73,000 energetic, creative people in 30 states and 10 foreign countries, joining together to push back the limits of technology on the land, on the sea, under the sea, in the air, and in space. For defense, for a better way of life today, and the assurance of a bright tomorrow, all strive to make General Dynamics and the division of which they are a part the standard for the industry. San Diego is the home of the Convair division, and for decades, challenging enterprises have been carried on here by dedicated people. It was here that Atlas was conceived, designed, and developed for the United States Air Force. Centaur, too, evolved here to provide the United States with an advanced launch vehicle. Awe-inspiring in dimensions, yet so precisely fabricated that its stainless steel skin is thinner than a dime, the launch vehicle stands ready and reliable. Initiating hundreds of trouble-free missions, these remarkable vehicles have participated in historic events. Atlas was there to bring the world the first human voice from space.
This is the President of the United States speaking. Through the marvels of scientific advance, my voice is coming to you from a satellite circling in outer space.
And the world was watching when we put Colonel John Glenn in space in 1962.
Knowledge begets knowledge. Progress never stops. We're now on the verge of a new era, I feel.
It's a new era indeed. In the early 1960s, many ballistic launches were performed by the Atlas weapon systems. This Atlas ICBM was ultimately to become a highly reliable space booster, the Atlas E and F. In the period between 1964 and 1967, Project Prime tested a re-entry body that was to be the shape of things to come, today's Space Shuttle Orbiter. Many Defense Department satellites have been launched from Vandenberg Air Force Base, the Western Test Range, thereby helping to keep the balance of power. The first nuclear reactor to be used in space was launched in 1965, the Snapshot Project. To develop new re-entry vehicles, the first of the many advanced ballistic launches was lofted into space in 1963, and the series continued through 1974. The Nike Targets project began in 1962 and continued through 1966. The Atlas sent the first hard-landing probe to the moon, and the first interplanetary probe past Venus. 4 humans were placed in Earth orbit on successive occasions, and every shot perfect. Centaur was developed for deep space probes requiring a high-energy upper stage and was the first hydrogen-burning vehicle. By mid-1978, Atlas had been launched 445 times and Centaur 54 times. The first probes were made to send back close-up pictures of the Moon and Mars. Orbiting astronomical observatories were positioned above the Earth's atmosphere for the first undistorted views of the universe. Applications technology satellites placed in Earth orbit have proven advanced communications concepts and tested equipment for today's modern breed of space hardware. Surveyor unmanned lunar landers paved the way for the Apollo manned landers which followed. Mariner Mars 9 went into orbit around Mars for a close-up study, and Mariner 10 provided television pictures and scientific data from Venus and Mercury. Networks of orbiting satellites, Intelsat 4s and 4As, now link the continents providing telephone, telegraph, and television communication. Intelsat follow-ons are yet to come. Pioneer 11, launched in April of 73, will arrive at Saturn in 79, following a successful flyby of Jupiter. In 1980, the Pioneer 10 flyby of Jupiter, launched in December of 73, will be the first man-made object to escape our solar system. Helios, a joint project of the United States and West Germany, combines Centaur with Titan to place 2 Helios spacecraft in solar orbit. From recent Centaur experiments, including 7 engine starts and coasts of over 5 hours, Centaur has proved that it can handle more complex missions, that its future is literally among the stars. Vikings 1 and 2, each atop a Titan Centaur, have studied Mars from orbit, during descent, and on the surface, including a search for life. 2 Voyagers launched in 77 by Titan Centaurs are on a 4-year journey to the planet Saturn by means of a flyby of Jupiter. The 3 high-energy astronomy observatories currently being launched will study some of the most intriguing mysteries of the universe, such as pulsars, black holes, neutron stars, and supernovae. And there are still other challenging probes. 2 Pioneer missions in 78. 1 orbiter was successfully launched in May and was followed by a multi-probe lander in late summer. ComStars, which are ComSat domestic telephone communication satellites for AT&T, and launched during 76 and 78. FleetSatcoms, a worldwide communication system for the Navy. The first launched in 78, with more to follow through 79 and the 80s. Not to be outdone, the old reliable Atlas EF operational booster has been updated and improved to even greater reliability. Thus, it has been selected for several new and important missions. The NASA Tyros N NOAA missions to provide weather information for NOAA. The Global Positioning Satellite Program provides highly accurate position and time information via satellite for planes, ships, tanks, and for that matter, any personnel with the need to know. The P-78-1 mission with 9 separate objectives, including sampling space for evidence of pollution in the atmosphere. And NASA's CSAT to measure and monitor oceanographic phenomena and features for marine scientists, launched in June of 78. Now, come with me to the launch facilities at Cape Canaveral, the Eastern Test Range. 2 launch pads are controlled by a single blockhouse, and all Atlas Centaur missions are launched here.
Status check. Propellants.
Go Atlas. Go Centaur. Go Centaur.
Pressurization.
Go Atlas. Go Centaur.
Atlas autopilot.
Go.
Centaur autopilot.
Go.
Launch director.
Go.
All recorders fast.
Minus 12 seconds.
Engine start.
Hold it. This countdown did not really start within the last few hours with the launch vehicle sitting on pad 36. Nor did it start a few weeks ago in the controlled environment of the clean room. It actually began years ago when the first part or component was created for this particular launch. Literally thousands of individuals contributed to this countdown, and the conscientious pursuit of quality on the part of each is vital to the success of the mission. More than 5,000 parts in the Atlas. More than 6,000 parts in the Centaur. Over 1,500 vendors and suppliers. Over 11,000 parts, and every one of them has to function flawlessly, or this can be the result. nearly 500 successful missions do not compensate for just one tragic failure like this. A successful mission requires flawless performance by suppliers, technicians, scientists, mechanics, engineers, and production and support personnel. Thousands of members of the Atlas and Centaur teams scattered throughout the nation, each working toward the success of the launch.
Engine start.
On at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The vehicle now slips the bonds of man to be tethered by the invisible bonds of electronic signals, which will follow, monitor, and control it through the reaches of space.
Atlas speaking. We have booster engine cutoff. Atlas booster engine jettison. B show jettison. Sustainer thrust chamber is nice and steady, and we have a good attitude control with sustainers. Centaur installation panel jettison, all 4 panels. Panel jettison confirmed at AE.
Atlas Centaur separation velocity is reached, so the sustainer engine cuts off, and the two vehicles must go their separate ways.
We have sustainer shutdown. We have HACL. We got separation. Tell to verify separation.
Now the hydrogen-burning Centaur fires for the first time, deftly driving its payload into parking orbit. Engines stop. It coasts for a while, then engines start again, steadying its aim on that critical point in space where the spacecraft will be nudged away on its own. Engines shut down. Centaur separates and drops behind. Its job over. So another team effort gets the job done. Our Centaur is a logical choice to become a high-energy upper stage in the space shuttle and to provide the capability to perform missions such as Galileo Jupiter or the Mars sample return. It could also make a rendezvous with the comet Encke. With a multitude of countdowns slated for the years ahead, each of us can go about our tasks with anticipation, conscientiously working to make our share of the countdown flawless. Indeed, to make each countdown truly a countdown to success.